It's the subjective. It's the perspective. The subjective perspective show season 4. It's the subjective.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm going to drop a little Southern rock guitar. Let's see how this sounds really quick. Just a little something. Hey, everybody. You're on episode 118 of the Subjective Perspective Show. Yours truly, Nick of TSP here, and I'm sitting with the man himself, the rock star who I like to call a fellow who deserves all of the success coming his way. My brother, Austin Shaw, my main man. And Austin, I'm going to pop the Southern guitar, rock guitar down so it doesn't overpower our convo so we don't have to shout over it. Good to have you back with us, my brother.
Hey, Nick, thanks for having me back, man. It's great to be here.
You know, we always get into a little convo before we actually start. And as everybody's able to see us here, as we have some audio, video going with the audio this time, once again, I'm just checking out the headphones, making sure just how it, make sure it sounds all solid. So I'll keep those every once in a while just to make sure that everything's tight. But, you know, I was making the point that, like, you're somebody who deserves all of the success you get. And it's for real, brother. There's a reason for that. I've met a lot of people in my time. You know, people that, you know, literally have done the whole MTV thing, like that I knew growing up. And one fellow who was part of a band called Taking Back Sunday, who was one of the guitar players. Early on, I knew this fellow from, he lived with an old buddy of mine out in Amityville, Long Island. And old buddy Phil. And this is when I was like 14, 15, Aust. And, you know, he was always the most kind, humble person, man. You know, when I say humble, I mean like, I'm going to raise my mic a little bit too because I feel like I'm crouching a bit. But, you know, somebody who's generous, you know, somebody who may know that they're talented, but I'll pop it out like this for a moment. I'll figure it out. Everybody who's just listening in, I just had to pop the mic out of my thing. Lisa TSP, big shout out to the missus, Lisa TSP, always getting the audio engineer rocking. Pumpkin, do you think this can go higher by any chance? I'm trying to get my microphone higher. It might not go higher. I apologize if not. But, you know, I say that story about that fella because when I met you a couple months ago, you know, as I was just saying, you know, it's crazy how busy I was after you were on the show, Austin. And everybody listening in knows I had a couple months span where I had to take off. And I had a lot of work to get into. But it was such a great way to leave off, brother. Because you are truly not only an incredible musician, because your music is ridiculous, and we got to talk about felt. That's number one, numero uno, while you're here, my brother, okay? You got it up, didn't you, sweetie? Thank you. Lisa TSP, always rock it. Well, you think Austin's is good enough, babe? How's your mic? Yeah, you know what, sweets? Yeah, right now we're raising mics, everybody. You know, so thanks, Aust. Right on. Thank you, guys. Oh, that makes it so much better. Right on. Right on. Cool. You see, and I love just being able to fiddle with, like, cameras and just do our thing. And, you know, as we look around, you know, we have cameras all around the room. And this is a production. It's not just, you know, even though this is grassroots, you know, even though this is, you know, coming from just out the money that we make from working in our life, you know, it's a labor of love. Because to reach one person, Austin, blows our minds. But to reach people across the globe that'll tune into us, you know, thank you all for checking us out, everybody. You know, your unwavering support, you know, to what we do at the network and show is just crazy. But let us remember, episode 118 is about Austin Shaw. And it's about what you've been doing, my brother, since episode 115. And you've done a whole lot. Music videos, album about to be dropped on September 15th. Fine, sir. We're not going to get into the whole where you're from and all that good stuff, all right, bro? Because that was episode 1. Let's stick to the album, my brother. Okay, the music. number one, am I right? Is it September 15th?
September 15th, yeah. We'll be released then and having a little CD release party here at the Convo.
We're going to try to get there.
16th, yeah.
We're going to try to get Saturday?
Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Saturday night.
Austin, I think we may end up actually being there.
Good.
I miscalculated. I thought it was on a Thursday, and I was telling you my schedule. I sort of have another schedule like that right now. But it's really, I really want to be there.
Good.
Okay, so if we pop up, we're just flies on the wall, but we just want to support you, my brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So what's going on with the album, man? Please let me know. I have a Thai iced tea I'm about to sip on.
Right on. Well, gosh, I worked on that album for quite a long time, and this is my first. I put out some EPs, but this is my first full-length album, so I'm really excited about it. I went to New York. I met this wonderful engineer producer named Robert L. Smith, who's just sort of done he's worked with everybody out there, and he was amazing. And got into a room with about 4 of these amazing session guys who are all incredible, lots of pedigree, really good musicians, but also really down to earth guys as well. And we just, we spent about 4 or 5 days in the studio from morning to night.
That's crazy. Okay, where in New York City were you, sir?
It was actually in Brooklyn.
Okay, right. Where in Brooklyn? Not the exact street or anything, but was it like Williamsburg-ish, Greenpoint-ish?
It was Williamsburg, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Off the L train by any chance?
Yeah, off the L train.
Right on.
Yeah.
I know that very well. That's my old stomping grounds, Horst. I grew up skating all through Brooklyn, New York City. I probably got into this with you last time, getting into my whole background. But we got family in Brooklyn and all that good stuff. I love that area, number one of the hippest areas around.
It's changed a lot.
Changed a lot.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people in the 90s wouldn't understand that. One of my good friends I grew up with, Jujo, Julio Muniz, out in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. He lived in the PJs and the projects of Brooklyn. And you may have seen some videos I popped up of me doing that snakeboard thing.
Yeah,
you know.
totally.
I think you might have liked one. That's why I was like, yeah, Austin checked it, man. And that's what we did back in the '90s. I'll be posting more good stuff, but it's changed for the better, I think.
Oh, yeah.
More expensive to live there. The gentrification aspect, yes, it's sad to see people removed, and that's one thing that we have to try to, hone in on. How can we change neighborhoods without removing culture, without removing people that have been there for generations, because that's just a tragedy, for all those families. But when you look at it in hindsight, like Times Square, go back there in the 90s, you wouldn't want to walk around Times Square. It was scary,
Hell's Kitchen. Right?
Hell's Kitchen, Austin. So you're in Brooklyn. You're over in one of the coolest areas in New York City. What's it like recording with the people that you're recording with?
It was amazing. So these guys were, we had spent some probably months before kind of trading electronically stuff. So I had written a bunch of songs. Some to Robert. We kind of culled through, probably 50 songs and brought it down to about 15 or so. And then these guys got involved. So Larry Saltzman, who toured with Paul Simon forever,
It's crazy. That's awesome.
Joe Bonadio, who done a bunch of work with Sting, who's the percussionist. This guy Malcolm Gold, who's just this incredible guy, born and raised in Brooklyn, but amazing bass musician. And so we kind of threw around ideas, and they would take my song and give me their ideas, and then we all showed up in the studio and pretty much just played live until we kind of got stuff tight. And I was definitely kind of intimidated coming in, but these guys are just old pros.
I mean, you're talking Paul Simon? It's just crazy.
But talk about the most humble, down-to-earth, amazing. I mean, they just do it for the music, these guys. It was they dug it. That's why they did it. And they came in and they added their thing to it. And it was amazing.
Now, Austin, this is how Felt was created.
Yes.
Okay. When were you recording this, my brother? What time periods was this being recorded?
So this was about a year ago.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because there was a good.
That's why I asked, because
6
I know there's
months
production and there's mastering and there's advertising to get things released.
Yeah, right.
And that's one thing when I say, New York City is one of those places that have energy, and a year ago it is the same as this past year. It's just as real. When you were with everybody in Brooklyn, I got to ask you this. What is it like, when you're sitting back, just sort of like outside of playing music with all of these fellas? Is there wisdom they pass along?
Just being in that kind of energy, and seeing what they do and their ideas, and there were lots of ideas thrown around, and then just the playing, you can't help but, through osmosis, just pick up on their talent and experience, and it was just it was the most incredible kind of creative experience I've ever had in my life. 'Cause we'd go in about 9 a.m. We'd be there till about midnight, and you wouldn't even know what time it was. It's not like we were working hard. We were in there just creating.
And okay, now listen. Okay, so you're in BK. You're over where one of the creators, Zoe, who is partners with us in Button Rush Entertainment, lives in Bushwick. Okay, so he's not far from Williamsburg, and so big shout out to Brooklyn, everybody. We got to give a shout out to the family and friends. I got too many. I turned on the TV one day back in Riverhead, Long Island, when I was working in a group home out there, and this is back in 2000, 99, 2000 or something like that. And I see my uncle who passed away, my Uncle Danny, but, from Greenpoint, they had knocked down, the water towers. It was a big thing, I'll keep on looking back at Lee, because you may remember, when the water towers were up. But it's one of those places that are near and dear to our heart. It's one of the greatest places to make music, Austin. We know that, and there's so much to talk about regarding people that come from Brooklyn. Okay, I'm just going to say Kenny Vance. That's all I'm going to say is Kenny Vance. Okay, doo-wop, the king, right? One of the kings right there. So now you're in Brooklyn for that 6-day period. After you create that album, what's the process, Austin? You can tell I'm from New York. I could even shorten the name of Austin to Aust, right? That's so crazy. I could totally. For some reason, everything was always expedited in New York. You know it at Austin. You had lived there, I believe, or spent many years there. So, in my blood, born and raised. And I was, I was just thinking to myself, Austin, there's more to the album than just the creation portion, because you can create an awesome song, a beautiful album like you have, sir, and which I'm going to play a song in a moment off of the album. But there's a lot that goes into it, and I think what I want to do is play a song. Okay, let's go into a song, and when we come back, let's talk about the advertising aspect. The marketing aspect.
Sure.
Let's get sort of cerebral in that context. For anybody listening in that would be interested in understanding how you brand yourself in this world, in this technological upheaval of thought, of this synthesis of the digital world and the organic world. And you do a darn good job at it, because you make me wanting more, brother. Every time I'm like, oh man, I just saw I had a little taste of what I'm going to be feeling. I'm getting a couple little pictures now, and like I said, on September 15th, the name of the place, I always mispronounce it.
The Kumbwa.
The Kumbwa. Yeah. That's the album release party, and there's tickets for sale right now. Also.
That's right.
Before we go to musical breaks, sir, my brother, where can people get the tickets if you know offhand?
You can get them on the Kumbwa website. And then my website, starting on Tuesday, you can get them. It's austinshawmusic.com. But if just Kumbwa Jazz, Kuumba WA, sorry.
One of the hottest spots in Santa Cruz.
It's a fun spot.
One of the hottest spots. It's everywhere in all the magazines. And good times. If I could make a mention of this before we go into one of the songs that we started with last time, which I want to start off with. Okay, it's Citrine, and it's beautiful. Brother, it's beautiful. You've done a live performance in here with Nick Gallo. Big shout out to Nick. We got a lot of love for you, brother. So, and a lot of love for the D.C. area, because I think that's where the native town is.
He'll be playing with me at the CD release party as well. So,
would Nick hopefully be able to see you there, my brother? Okay, and I think we're going to see you there. But good times. I heard through the grapevine, because I find things out here and there through people. I don't know how this happens, to be honest, that you're up for an award, actually. Good Times Artist of the Year, perhaps? Is this true?
Yeah, it was Musician of the Year. That was 2016.
Okay. I apologize. I apologize.
That's all right. And it's kind of a peer thing. They put out a poll, I guess, and so people kind of go in and put their votes in. So it's really they accumulate that, and so everything from best bagel to best band and best musician.
Because I was going to say as I'm getting my microphone just turned around to me, I I wanted to support you in every which way in that. So as 2016 is past, for 2017, this is the new arena. But to be up for an award as Good Times Artist of the Year, it not only says something about you as a person, that people love you, but it says a whole heck of a lot about your music, brother.
Thank you.
Your music's incredible, man. So Austin, we talked about this song last time. So we're just going to go into this, okay? So everyone, if you want to know more about this song, just go to the first time Austin was on, episode 115, the Subjective Perspective Show on the Button Roach Entertainment Network, tsp.buttonroach.com. Stay locked, please, ladies and gentlemen, at www.buttonroach.com. And we're going to give you, 3 minutes and, let's see here. How 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Let me bring it on over. We're going to give you 3 minutes and 6 seconds of something that you don't got to buy just yet, but we want you to go out and spend your money on this entire album titled Felt by the great Austin Shaw. Everybody checking me out on all your cameras, wherever you are. Whatever camera angle I'm going to be editing it in later on with our crew. Just know we thank you all for supporting this man because he deserves all the support and all of the success he gets. Always to the good ones, to the ones that have the love in their hearts, and to the ones that make great music. This is Citrine.
Caught you staring at the cover of her magazine. I see your face as you remember. It was so serene. When he left Citrine, did it hurt? Was I there? Can you tell me how to act? Because it felt so unfair. All those words that you said when I was part of your scene. I wanted to help with your madness, but it felt so green. Like a leaf that drifts down from a tree. Will you pick me up? You know what I mean. Oh, 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 it's a dream. Oh, oh, I know we left when we were only 17. Did he take the party with him? I know what I've seen. You should come back one day, put the pieces back together one day. Come on back out and play Citrine. Will you let it go? Can you let it go? It's been forever long. Live your life and help me, waiting with the song. All your dreams will be brought back when your fears are gone. They'll be shining again one day, like before everything went gray. Oh, Citrine. Oh, we would want you to be God, the queen in the kingdom of all fire. Carry on with your own kind. Love can be so mean. Never wanna say goodbye. Only hold on to what feels right. Waking up at midnight, shed a tear for him. Oh, 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 Citrine. Oh, 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 Citrine.
You get the picture, ladies and gentlemen, why I think that Austin is truly not just somebody who makes music, but somebody who moves people with his music. You know what I'm saying? And Citrine, as everybody just heard, is gorgeous. If you want to know about that song, please go back to episode 115, okay? Because we got into it. We got to keep it moving, ladies and gents, all right? What time is it? Like, sweet, what time is it? 7:21, at least the TSP gives me. So we got 39 minutes. Let's keep it rocking, brother. I say this to Austin because last time we held on to him for a while. We had him on here for a while, him and Nick, and we were just blasting, having a good time. But I want to say this, Austin, your album Felt, the entire album is gorgeous. And I want to talk about your music video, please. It's the video of our week on the Subjective Perspective show. And first off, every once in a while I'll turn to a camera or two because I'm not sure I'm going to edit it. But Santa Cruz is one of the greatest places on earth. Okay, it's special. There was a movie out, Austin, called about the surfers of the West Side, called West Side Boys, I believe. Came across it on YouTube. We didn't even get to the whole thing, but it's about the locals of Santa Cruz. And in the beginning, they narrate, and the narrator makes a point saying that everybody feels the energy of Santa Cruz. There's something about it that, you could be on Pacific. You could be over in Davenport, you could be up in the mountains, in Los Gatos in Santa Cruz County still, and we know that well. And there's this energy, and you capture that in your music video without you. And I just want to tell you what one of my favorite parts are, if I could, for a hot second. Okay, and then maybe I just want to ask you about the concept of that and how that came together. But I love it all. Okay, I'm sure Lee has her parts she loves because she was just in it. She was like, oh, and I'm like, yo, that's cool, man. Because I'm a huge fan of yours, Austin. We're both huge fans of yours. But after having the opportunity to talk with you and for you to be so kind, I have a lot of energy, man. People that know me, and everybody that knows me. That's just my energy. Yeah. And we've been fried out here, 116 degrees too. So literally everybody, was 116 outside of the studio today. We pulled in at 116. Yesterday, 115. And we were in San Jose. We had to go run some errands out in San Ho. So we were like, this is getting crazy. But when you're in the Redwoods in the music video, and you're one of the lines is something along the lines of the world keeps spinning, and you're on the ground, and you just got your hands behind your head, and you got cuts right to the redwood just turning, you looking up. It just makes me just feel so good about life. It makes me feel, and another thing, there's a lot of spiritual connotation in a way with yoga in there. Okay, so first question, brother, if I could ask you about the music video, who came up with that concept?
Well, I came up with the overall idea, and I got to. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I've got two friends, Brittany and Mike Buffo, who run. They run a film school actually at Carmel, but they have a House of Media 8, and so they do some fun stuff. So I was just talking about this idea I had, and some of the concepts, and they said, let's do it. And it was like it was talking about another creative experience. It was like making a short film. I mean, we spent a lot of time. The woman Alexia Angelis is like this top talent actress who happened to be close with them, and a friend of mine. And she's like,
is that the woman that's in the
she's in
the video? I say the movie because it's like it plays out.
Yeah, it was like making
story.
a movie. Yeah, and she was amazing because she's a pro. She's in big movies all the time, and she came up from LA just as sort of a favor to take part in it. And, and we had so much fun. It was an homage to Santa Cruz, right? I mean, we went to all the spots.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, dude. Starts out with you jogging out, man, right over there by the lane. And for everybody who knows the lane, it's one of the best waves in the world. And Santa Cruz is. We're reading it in one of the last. It's called Waves. It's like one of just sort of like the local mags that has like things going on. And it's a surf reserve, Santa Cruz. One of the few places in the world where, because of the people, because of the consistency of waves, because of the culture of the people that love to surf out here, you embodied that, Austin. And that music video, I want to, if it's okay with you, I would love to push it on our side also.
Please do.
Okay, awesome, brother. I never overstepped my boundaries, and I working with management, and a big shout out. I wanted to make a mention to Dana, just to say, we've worked with you for about 2+ years or so, and you've always given us incredible people to talk with, and somebody who we consider a bud now, and it's really cool, like how Austin and Dane is one of the networks of management that Austin works with, and we made the point that I want to get into marketing in a second, and advertising and branding and communication. It's not just about making good music, because seeing a lot of people, good music out there. There's tons of good music. Maybe none at the level as yours. Yours has this complexity with harmonies, Austin. It's the simplicity that when you are creating in the creative process. Does this ring a bell with you, brother? When you're creating, do you ever feel to yourself, dang, that's like too simple? Or like I have to make it more complex or something like that?
Absolutely. I'm kind of always doing that. Unfortunately, you're like,
it's weird, man.
Yeah, you want to add stuff to it, and if you add too much to it, you can kind of ruin it.
Yeah, exactly, brother. And that's why I say you give it just the right amount of complexity with the harmonies. Without You is just crazy. Felt is gorgeous, which we're going to get into the song in a bit. But got the concept a bit. So basically, that was your concept.
It was. I don't know if you've seen the Royal Tenenbaums or some of these.
Big
other,
fan.
Yeah.
Big fan. Bottle Rocket?
Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket, yeah.
He's my all-time favorite. Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson, thank you, sorry.
And so I kind of wanted it to be sort of a hokey, silly, but sort of homage, kind of put the spotlight on.
That makes sense, man. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The characterization, but you're a great actor too, Austin. You have a great look. It's so funny, brother. Because listen, the thing is this: you're soft. You're approachable, and when people see you, they're calm. When I see Austin, I'm like, there's a person that, hey, if I was, if there was an issue in the community, I'd want that person to help me out, And this is pretty neat how we have the lights go down automatically.
Cool, the disco
this
lights.
is pretty rad. We get the little disco lights, everybody. Thanks, sweetie.
Yeah, we must have been sitting really still.
Yeah, we sit really still because the central lights just went down. For everybody listening again, we just had the central lights go down. But we have these really cool purple lights that are on the table. But Aust, I won't go too off on a tangent on this, but it's those attributes, brother, that make you, that the aspect that you are so connected, it feels, to the plights of people. And that's just by the way you carry yourself, Austin. You don't go over, you don't speak over people, You're speaking to people. Like when you talk to me, you're always 100% you, And
Thank you. It's such a
on
compliment.
air, you're you. On stage, you're you. And the thing is how do people understand you? That's the thing. How do you get into public consciousness, brother? Marketing, branding, advertising. You mentioned earlier, bringing it full circle. It takes about a year or so to get, to get your little Jerry, our little doggy. For anyone listening, he's making his little blanket in his little house. He has like a little doggy house here. He's getting it all fluffed up. So if you hear that, you may not hear that, but there might be some scratching going on for a moment. He'll be done with that momentarily. But it takes a while to get people knowing about what they're about to hear. My question to Austin, brother, is for people listening and who want to do what you're doing, what is the process? How do you do that? How do you get from an album to then releasing it at an album release party, but then also having all these avenues for people that want to hear your music? How do you get out there?
It's a lot of just kind of pounding the pavement, and it's being patient as well. And it's getting people like you to kind of help and get the word out. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, I've got some folks that are helping me out. Danny, you mentioned, has been amazing. And you get this album done, and then you're just so excited about it, and you want to get it out there next week and just blow it out. And I want everybody to hear it. And I realize a lot of people won't even work with you unless you're willing to give them 6 months to go out and sort of promote the thing, or make sure you get out to the right press and this. And you just got to kind of build a buzz, I guess. There's a lot of free stuff you can do, all the social media, getting on the phone, calling radio stations if you're out touring, say, hey, I'm coming by. can I come in and say hello? And it's
Because you're out there, brother, man. You've been out there. And for everybody listening, we have little Jerry, that Austin, our little doggy, that Austin is soothing this little munchkin right now.
Gonna pick him up.
This happened last time too, Austin. Thank you for being so kind to the little one. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He wants to play. He wants the attention. He's like, Dad. He's like, I want to play with Austin right now. Austin's cool, Dad. Come on, man. He makes the good music. So, Austin, getting out there, brother, through social media. How do you do it, man? Do you wait to post? Things. Do you? As you said, people like me who support you, brother. You're out there. Is a lot of it going out face to face, performing? Is that a big part of what you do?
It's a big part of it. I think it's all of it. I hate.
Interesting.
I hate,
is it really?
It
man?
is. It's
That's
every
a lot
little
of work.
piece of it. Yeah. I mean, I hate the self promotion thing. I can't stand going on social media and say, check me out.
Yeah, I understand.
But you gotta kind of do it.
I know it, man. It
that.
feels. You're good, so you sound good. You are awesome, and so when people hear you, they'll be like, okay. He's not just saying, come check me out. He's saying, like, really, I got something special. But I know, Austin, you're an artist. But you're savvy to business also. You're somebody who's seen it. And as we talked in the past, on episode 115 of your past work you've done in New York City, downtown. But you're also savvy to communication and being able to connect with people on a personal level. A personal level that, a lot of people are scared to go to. A lot of people are scared to give a pound. Scared to give a little, like, hug, like, a little, like, shoulder to shoulder. Yo, what's up, man? We live in an interesting time where, you just don't know if it would push people away. Especially, when, you're doing work. Musicians typically are open. They're typically cool. But, if you're working with a producer who may be a bit different, and there's different ways to carry yourself. What are some of those ways, like different, like mentalities you've come across, Oz, I guess? Like, have you ever seen, like, the rigid, and no names, obviously, would never want that, but, like, have you ever seen, like, a personality that's way opposite of yours? Because you're super chill, like, anybody, like, really, like, money, you got to do it like this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get all kind, and especially with musicians and other artists and everything. You've got, I work with folks who are just the most talented people in the world, but if they show up, you're happy. And then there are other people who are super serious about everything they do, and it's kind of everything in between. It's like life, right? I mean,
yes.
Hopefully, if you can just be yourself, and that shines through, then
that's right, and that's the focus. That has to be the focus.
It has to be, yeah.
Because if it goes outside of that, then it becomes a waste of energy, right? Do I get it? Like, and ladies and gents, like, as Austin, I'm able to connect with Austin face to face here, and both of us come from outside, which was like 100+ degrees. So, just so you know, our faces are like beet red, like like little lobsters out here, and it fries your brain too. You've been driving however long, even 5 minutes with the sun beating on you. And it's Labor Day weekend, everybody. So again, happy Labor Day 2017. Little Jerry boy is still waiting for Austin because he just knows that Austin is greatness. That's what it is. He's attracted to greatness, brother. Now, Austin, I want to get into another song, please, if I could, sir. I'd like to go into the title track of the album, Felt.
Okay.
Now, we didn't speak about Felt last show. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Man, without you two, every single song on the album, ladies and gentlemen, of Felt, it's a must-have. You're going to get a sense of songwriting that you may have been accustomed to if you grew up in the 90s, if you grew up even in the 60s, if you grew up in the early 2000s. So this is spanning generations, right? This isn't just for one. This is for my millennials as well as for my boomers, as well as for my traditionalists early on. Let's bring it back to the 20s. I'll go back because you have a semblance of the blues in this. And a lot of it, Austin, is your voice. The way you created your songs, the lyrics too, brother. Your tonality, your voice, mixed with the actual lyrics, make it come to life. Felt, brother, how did this song come to life for you?
Well, this is actually about a little. It's so funny. I'm always hesitant to talk about the story behind it because sometimes you hear a song.
Interpretation, indeed.
Yeah,
and
it's
give it the
your
most abstract. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave it open for interpretation. Still.
Yeah,
I know.
It's about this. It's actually happened to me up in Pacifica.
I know Pacifica
just
well.
south of
Beautiful
San
area.
Francisco. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you sort of meet someone, and the minute you meet them, you kind of know there's that special energy, and there's way more to them than just a good-looking lady or man or whatever it might be,
yes,
right?
Sir.
And you feel it inside, and it kind of has I tried for the kind of the California laid-back feel to it too, with some of the guitar licks and things, but that's kind of it. You feel somebody, you're talking about the energy of someone before you really even know what it all means.
When you feel it, you know it.
You know it, yeah.
And when it feels right, you know you're on the right path with it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please feel this. This is felt by our featured guest, episode 118 of the Subjective Perspective Show. Austin, to say episode 118 is mind-blowing for us, brother. We were talking, remember when it's episode 1, and the evolution of where we were in just a little room, as we mentioned, over in the Menlo Park area. And we had probably the first 20 shows there, To be able to do this with you, to have somebody of your caliber with us, Austin. And I'm so grateful that you come back because it lets us know that, hey, listen, this man who's doing so much, he had a decent time, and
We had so much fun. I think we
had a great
were here
time.
for like 3 hours or something.
It is crazy,
Nick
man.
had
I
a
felt so
date
bad.
night that night, and he missed it.
Nicky, that's my bad, brother.
But we loved it.
Nick, we can't wait to get you on the show when you're doing some music stuff also, and that's just that's easy. That's all done. That's already done. So this is felt, ladies and gentlemen, by our brother Austin Shaw. You're about to feel it.
Take you to go for a ride back to that place where you first touched me inside and you lifted me up, so very high. I don't wanna come down, but from your deep blue sky, you gonna paddle out in the cold, cold rain with those small, small waves? And did I explain how I felt you before I even saw? I finally felt something greater than a song, feeling of my heart, the way that you do. 'Cause when you come near me, every time it's brand new. That I found you, I don't ever wanna let you go. I wanna grow up with you, and I always let you know how I felt you before I even saw. I finally felt something greater than a song, feeling of my heart, the way that you do. When you come near me, every time it's brand new. When you lift me up, so very high, I don't wanna come down, but from your deep blue sky, lifting me up, and you lifted me up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's that vibe that Austin was talking about. That California riff. That. And when you think of someone you love, I want you to play Felt for him. Because, I was talking off air a bit with Austin, and there's a story to that song, which I'm not going to get into right now because interpretation is so much of the art form. I used to go, to like the Museum of Natural History, or even more so right across the Central Park, the Museum of, not the Museum of Modern Art, just the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I apologize. Over on the east side, like East 79th or so, and I would look at like the Rousseaus or like the they would have like the Warhols and like all the cool stuff like Van Gogh. Did they have the Van Goghs there? But a lot of the big names. Mm-hmm. And I would say to myself, gosh, man, like what made, this so, you look at the Campbell Soups, you're like, that's pretty funky. You look at Warhol, you're like, that's really cool. But what makes it really reach everybody? What makes it so, so pervasive into the lives of people's thought process? And I think it's interpretation. Mm-hmm. People see different things into whatever the creation product is. And man, I'm gonna get a sip of my water, which I have here. How's your water doing there?
It's good.
You got a little more? Mm-hmm. I have another bottle of water here for you too, brother, if you need it. Okay.
Thank you.
And we are at 7:43, 7:45 as I round it up to, so we have about 15. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna take a sip of my water for a moment, but I want to ask Austin about the branding process for a moment. Because, brother, man, we're talking about like marketing and networking. But now that you've been out there playing on stages, what's it like when people know your music? Now that you're branded and you're getting into people's consciousness, I hear your music. Is it crazy when you see people that are like singing back your words?
It is crazy, I think every kind of, and it's not every gig I do, but it does happen from time to time. And it's I think every artist aspires to that, right? I mean, that someone actually knows your music.
Yeah, brother. I'll be singing back to you on the 15th of September at Convo. Right. Okay, we were just talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, and we just made the definite. We're going to be there. It's irrefutable. We were already going to be there. Just the energy, man, just got me pumped. I can't wait to be there right now, Austin. And, we have 15 minutes, so I want to focus a little bit on what the future is of what you're doing now. So Felt is dropping on Friday the 15th. Mm-hmm. Everybody listening in, Austin Shore Felt. You have to get over to his site, austinshoremusic.com. Austin, where else can they find it, brother man?
You can actually pre-order it on iTunes right now if you want.
Right on.
But you can find it pretty much everywhere. Everywhere it's electronic and all the streaming services, Spotify, all that stuff too.
Is there a tour plan now with everything going on?
So I'm working on that. We had so much fun. We ran around with Dave Bromberg for most
That's crazy, David Bromberg, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest. Would it be like? How would I say it? Not a musicologist. Well, he probably is a musicologist, studies music, but he's somebody that plays all different forms.
Yeah. From
jazz to blues to like Tin Pan Alley, to like ragtime to like rock, country. What's it like? Well, I know we talked about this last time, but now that you've played with him, what's going to be happening next with this? Are you going to be playing with him again? What goes on with this now?
Yeah, so, we're looking into a couple of festivals now. I've actually been writing a ton of new stuff, so I hope to get back in the studio here in the next couple months. It's been one thing I was, when I look back at the songs, you talk a little bit about bluesy. I think when we were running around with David, he has a blues album he's pushing this time, but he plays every different genre and incredible musicians that play with him and the nicest bunch of guys you ever met too.
What's it like now? Did you get to talk to Dave Bromberg?
Yeah, he was amazing. I mean, he's played with everybody and seen everything, and still he's a humble guy, and his musicians have been with him for the longest time, and they're all so talented and so cool and so down to earth.
He's got to be in his 70s.
Yeah.
He's in his 70s.
And he packed, pretty much sold out. These are kind of, anywhere to sort of 500 to 1,000 person venues. Yeah. And everybody in the audience, there were these listening venues. So everybody was sitting down. You could hear a pin drop when he started, which, you're not competing with a bunch of drunk guys.
100%.
He's such an incredible following. But they were gracious, audience. He was amazing. We'd chat with him. He'd give us some tips. We'd even...
How did they receive you, brother? How did the audience, when you would play, How did, and you're setting the stage, I suppose, for Dave to come on in so many regards.
Yeah, and a lot of these people didn't even know I was going to be there.
Yeah,
some
totally.
of them did, and they were amazing. They would come over after and talk to us and buy the album, and they were great. And there were people who went there to see David who they've been seeing for a long, long time.
Yes,
so.
yes. And then they get put on to this new gentleman, Austin Shaw, a gentleman who. It's so funny when you look at people who have had interviews like 30 years prior. I was listening to I think I can mention people's podcasts. I think that's totally cool. Like Jamie Foxx was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about how there was some no-named guy at a party he threw back in the 90s on the side of the wall, and then he did I did an imitation of the guy's voice, and he's like, you know who that was, man? He's like, that was Jay-Z, man. Nobody knew who this guy was. To mention all these people. Austin, I feel the same magnitude of belief in you, brother. That who I'm talking to is somebody that deserves to be where you are, brother. Deserves all the success you get, my man. It's because you are somebody who cares. You're not in it for the money. You're not in it to get famous, man. You have a song in you, and you want that song to be heard by millions of people. And brother, I am honored Lee and I are honored to do our part in getting that to our audience, to all you beautiful people out there that check us out. And we got to just keep on passing this word along. Because Felt by Austin Shore, this album is going to blow your mind, ladies and gentlemen. It's gorgeous. As Miss Lisa TSP, my gorgeous other half, comes in. Thanks, sweets. Awesome, my brother. So, I don't believe there's like 10 minutes left. Santa Cruz, your music video. We're going to go into that song in about 5 minutes. Okay, we'll end off with it. We talked a lot about it already, but the song itself, it's a deep song. And leaving it open for interpretation also, Austin, where did that song come from, brother?
I think that song came from something that everybody's probably been through where...
It's really cool how you do it. It's really cool how you do it in the beginning. It's like without you, I'll make it through. Like essentially, and then it sort of like transitions to this thing. Like, without you, like I need you. Like there's so many. The idea of interpretation. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, I apologize.
When you break up with someone or someone breaks up with you or whatever, and you think I'm fine, everything's gonna be cool, and you go on about your stuff, and sometimes it's not so fun. You pretend it is, and then sometimes you kind of wake up, or there are days when you're like, this sucks, I wish she was back. So that's kind of it.
Goes out to everybody who's dealing with something like that. Yeah. I think the music that you write, Austin, reaches so many different paradigms. Many different ways that people see the world. So, you could put on Felt to Citrine to Without You that we're going to be listening to. You can watch your live music also, which I didn't put any of the live videos up on the webpage because I wanted people just to watch the music video Without You. So that's the video for Video of the Week. But people could get a sense that you have this light in you, brother, this fire, this flame. And I sit here across this table, brother, as you come in, as I had to hold the door for Austin, I wanted to go and jump on and be like, yo, brother, what's up? But I had to hold the door because Lisa had the keys inside the studio, so I couldn't go and run it. So I had to wait for him to come on up to the door. I was like, oh, gosh, man, I wanted to catch him first. But it's the way you are, brother. You see who I am. Regular person who's lucky to do what I do in life, Austin. That's all it is. And we're the kind of people that pass it along. And there's ideas that I have down the road that perhaps, you'd be, hip to and really digging, maybe reaching some fun people, and just keep on putting your music out there. Austin, brother, can we go into one last song before we get into our chows for now? And Without You, I'd like to get into.
Right.
And ladies and gents, if you've ever been through a difficult time period, relationship-wise, or you may be in a relationship and you may be just with somebody who feels as though you are invisible to, or, you could be that old movie, what was that movie, Sleeping with the Enemy, right, Baby Doll? Like, I say Baby Dr. Lee. I say that to Austin, everybody that's listening. If you're watching the video, you can see it turned around. But, sometimes you grow in different ways. And I think a lot of times in relationships, you have to really learn not just compromise, but you have to realize that supporting one another is such a huge component to letting each other grow autonomously, right? To letting each other grow in like a cool, like healthy way. And we all come from different pathways behind us, right, Austin? But it's funny how we all get to certain places, and it's like not so much a melting pot. I heard it once said on one of the news networks. It's sort of like a jambalaya, like like places like Santa Cruz or New York City. Like it's appreciating so many different cultures, like the melting pot. I guess that speaks to the idea of some people would say that so much of the cultural assimilation that you lose sense of your own native culture, right? So I heard someone, one of the political pundits say, well, it should be like a jambalaya, where we all have different cultures in this thing called America, and we appreciate those cultures, and you can get a taste of each of those different cultures in that jambalaya. You know what I'm saying, brother? I love how we put it. And I want to go into, before we actually get cruising out, and I give you the last couple minutes to let our audience know that you'll be back down the road, okay? Absolutely. We want you back, brother, and this is Without You. Ladies and gentlemen, just remember, Felt being released September 15th, record release party in Santa Cruz, California, over at Cumbra, on September 16th, roughly starting at 6 p.m. Austin will be performing with Patrick.
So Patrick's going to open up. Patrick McGuire.
McGuire, I apologize, everybody. Patrick McGuire is going to be rocking it. And down the road, love to get Patrick on in. Yeah. We just make those connections and pass that love along. Because, as Austin gets bigger and bigger, one thing, Austin, we never expect anything from anybody here, brother. We just always want you to remember us as good, decent people,
Absolutely.
Working people that are sort of a microcosm of a greater population, perhaps, for you. We're sort of that current of working in just like you. We're all workers, many of us, working class, living a couple paychecks to paychecks, but I think if one person loves your music, in just a country of 350 million, you're going to get at least 25 million that are going to love your music. You know what I'm saying, brother? And all you need is really like a billion of them, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Without You by our featured guest, episode 118 of the Subjective Perspective Show on Bud and Roach Entertainment. Austin Shaw, honored to call him our buddy, our friend out here in Santa Cruz, California. This is Without You. Sit back and just remember, we have the video of the week, and this video is one of our favorite videos that we've seen in some time, and we're going to keep on watching this. We're going to show our families this because it lets people know where we live. We didn't grow up here, but we like to say, Austin, we're growing old here.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Without You, Austin Shaw.
I've been carrying all my time. I've been doing oh so fine without you in my life. You said it wouldn't work out like this. I'd want your love and I need your kiss without you in my life. Here to tell you it's not so bad. I get to do stuff I never had without you in my life. You arrange your pawns on your board. It's a lot simpler since I pulled the cord without you in my life. I still wake up every day. The world still spins and I'm okay. My heart didn't stop, it didn't miss a beat. I see myself in the mirror and it's pretty neat without you in my life. tell you it's not so bad. I get to do stuff I never had without you in my life. The sun still rises and sets on time, but for some reason I'm still wishing you were mine in my life. Without you in my life, without you in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Without You. Now, remember, we have the video on our page as I'm all disheveled here, getting my headphones off if you're watching this now. But that video is on our main page of the Subjective Perspective show. And what we'll do, Austin, down the road, if you, as I made that point, we would love to advertise that for you also. So we'll put shit out on all of our social media accounts. We also have a page on our network called the Video Artist, and it's called The Wall. So we have people from all over the world. It could be short documentaries or short skits. Or I should say, what is that called? A short web series? We actually have a web series up there. Goons out in New York City. Really good work. I think one of the guys worked on The Wire and all this other stuff. And people send their stuff in, Austin. So down the road, if you'd like, we would love to put it up there too.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, so we'll connect and we'll do all that the right way through management, all that cool stuff. Because we got to realize, ladies and gentlemen, there are people who have roles in this whole process of making Austin Shaw, come to life for the world around him. It's something that I was mentioning to Austin while Without You was on, and I hope you enjoyed that jam. Because it's gorgeous. And this is the stuff that makes me want more. You get out September 15th. You get to iTunes. You get to Austin Shore Music. And you purchase Felt. We're going to be putting this out all weekend. All week, Austin, you're going to be up. Next week, ladies and gents, we'll have Eduardo Chavez, who is the grandson of Cesar Chavez. And he's going to be on. Oh, we got some sensor lights coming down again. For everybody who may not know what's going on, our lights went off in our studio again. So Austin tried to get the sensors going. That was awesome. Eduardo Chavez, a wonderful, wonderful director, creating a movie, Austin, called Hailing Caesar to his granddad, Cesar Chavez. Wow. And a lot of this, ladies and gents, as I'm getting a couple cameras over here on my left side set, a lot of the people we meet are people that we reach out to that we'll catch on social media. Lucky, as we made a mention, to work with a management team that's been awesome. And that's how Austin Shaw came into, really, our understanding of, gosh, this is somebody that we got to start putting out there now. This is where the next generation of listeners, this is where they have to go to. Because we have too much music out there, I think, Austin, that is sort of hollow. It's leaving people feeling as though, there's not as much substance as could be. And we just heard 3 songs. I can't play any more because you got to go out and get his album now, ladies and gents. We don't want to put it all out there for you right now. But Austin, if I could find Sir, as we're at that 8 o'clock hour, which is ridiculous to say, and I wanted to tell the last bit of my story I was telling off air. Ladies and gentlemen, I was telling Austin how Lisa, TSP, and I got out to California. And I know I've told this in past episodes. Let me get a sip of the rest of my Thai iced tea. Well, it's pretty much, brother, Route 80. I know you probably know that route pretty well, coming from your land over in the west area. At the Midwest, Ohio, the Midwest? Midwest, Ohio. And, jumped on 80, George Washington Bridge, drove right over it, never looked back. Ended up in a little town called Moss Landing, California, in a bedroom in a trailer for about 6 months, started our life out here. And then we ended up down in the Salinas area, started to progress a bit financially, and we made things happen. And Austin, what I do, for my, I say, I'm very conscious of what I say with this. So I don't want to say one thing and make it sound, I typically look at the work I do as metaphysical. I think you probably see why I stumbled on my own words as I was thinking about what I wanted to say. Because it's more than just me going to work. There's something happening, Austin, that is pushing me in a most positive direction to get out there and give my best. It's something that found me, Austin. And as we'll talk off air, more. It's something that is. It's what I do for the betterment of society, I feel. It's sort of like my duty in a way. Mm-hmm. So you can sort of, if you mesh the world of, and I didn't mean to be like weirding you out, brother, by like being like pausing in my head for like a minute there, like, how do I get this out, But if you mesh like the metaphysical idea with like sort of a purpose-driven type of thing, mm-hmm. like, that's why I feel like I do what I do. Awesome. And the words you said to me off the air was so kind. And for everybody that knows, I post every once in a while a bit of some lecture work that I do out in the San Francisco Bay Area here, and Monterey Bay Area as well. And Austin gave me just some incredible compliments. And it's weird taking compliments, isn't it, Austin, bro? Like, dude, like your music is sick, bro. And dude, you been surfing at all?
Yeah.
How's it been, brother? How's it been?
I was lucky enough. I got to sneak down to Costa Rica for a little while.
Dude, really quick, how's Costa Rica? So the last couple minutes, how was Costa Rica? And last comments for the audience, my brother. So you take it as long as you want.
Yeah, Costa Rica was beautiful. It's this place that's sort of off the grid. You get your water from a creek and, solar panels and, scarlet macaws and crazy animals running all over the place and just raw nature. So it was beautiful.
A macaw, is that like a...
It's the big
birds?
Big red kind of looking parrot things.
Okay, yeah. Right on.
But you got monkeys and armadillos and all kinds of crazy shit running around. and just beautiful surf and 80-degree water. And that's the time of year kind of that it pumps down there.
Now, there's the east side and the west side, I know. Which side do you go on? Because there's the Pacific side, I guess?
Pacific side.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Like, is the inside, I guess, more humid or more rainforesty? Because I heard there's rainforest down there.
Yeah, I haven't been to I haven't been to the Caribbean side. It's it's different in that you have more reefs and things like that. And I think the water's a little bit a little bluer, but the east side, the Pacific side is it's a lot like this, but with a lot of rainforest and jungle. So.
And Austin, when you were in Costa Rica, first off, how long did you go down there for?
It was almost a month.
That's why, because I saw you posting some videos, man. What did you do for a month down there, brother? Was it music? Was it family stuff? Like going
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, right on. Vacation times.
Some music, some vacation time.
It's all safe down there, then.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the places you can go that not too much to worry about. I mean, like there's stuff to worry about everywhere, but it was nice family oriented place too.
You know the comedian Tom Green?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He has a house down there.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, brother. So, follow him on social media, man. Tom is awesome. Big shout out to Tom. We want you on the show down the road, brother, man. You already know this. We were on Tom's Webavision 3 times. Had a fun time with Tom Green. He's also one of those people like you, Austin. Down to earth of the people. That's why you're going places, brother. You just keep doing what you're doing, okay? Because your music speaks for itself. And the reason I mentioned Tom Green is because he has a house in Costa Rica. Okay. And just the other day, yesterday, he's down in Costa Rica right now, and he's putting up like his beautiful mansion, with the backyard is his ocean. And, we've done our research and we've heard, it's pretty affordable down there.
Yeah, totally.
Do you think down the road you may ever retire down to Costa Rica, brother?
Yeah, I don't, it's a beautiful place to spend a lot of time, but, I don't know, like you said, I didn't grow up here, but I'm growing old here.
I'll keep it at that, brother. I'm going to keep it at that. Yo, Austin, man, listen, can you please give our audience last minute or two, as long as you like, actually? What can they look out for you doing? Where can they get your music? Album dropping September 15th. We already mentioned iTunes, ladies and gentlemen, and AustinShawMusic.com. Okay, please. And just Google the heck out of Felt and Austin Shaw. You already know in this day and age, you're not going to be too many clicks away from finding the darn CD, okay? But Austin, my brother, last minute couple of ideas you'd like to leave for our audience. Which, by the way, we had a pretty good turnout, man. People that have been checking out your videos, which is really, for us being grassroots, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for checking out Austin.
Thanks so much.
No dislikes either. Everything was likes, We appreciate that, man. And we know there's the trolley bowlies out there and all the funny oneys. But just remember, there's always going to be those types, and you never want to focus. And I guess also just always remember, no matter what, I told this to a couple people, you put your music up, brother. If there's going to be a trolley, there's always going to be a silly person out there. Yeah. You pay no mind to. You keep on rolling the way you roll, brother. Because honestly, it's here. You're you. This is you, brother, man. And, we love you for who you are. We want you back in our studio. And please feel free to bring the family with you next time. Maybe, if you like, whenever. We can figure something out. Maybe Nick will come on out. We'll get a couple guitars out, and we'll have a powwow, a big, fun time. And as I say powwow, I was, we have a couple friends down in Oklahoma City. Mike Bone, who are on America's Got Talent. Okay, and this was about 3 years ago. They were Native American Artists of the Year, and we've had them on our show twice. They're sweethearts, but they were just over at one of the big Native ceremonies, actually. So when I say we have to have a little ceremony, I think of Mike Bone. I want to get you guys out to California too, guys. Okay, and Solo Redline out in Chicago. We want to get you out to California. We want to get you out to where we're growing old, so you can see the magic of Santa Cruz. Austin Shaw, my brother. Thank you for coming back to the Satellite Studios, my man. Representing Santa Cruz very well, my brother. We love you, my man. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring it out, and we're going to close out with just a quick little monologue. If I can give Austin, stick with us for 2 seconds. I'm going to get John out. Ladies and gents, going to pick up this camera right here. Let's see. I'm just going to pick up this camera. I'll edit this camera in. I want you to remember that you have the power to make changes in your life. Not only changes in yourself, and let me just sort of fix my hair up because I'm all disheveled. That's what 116 degrees will do to you. But you have the power to make lives in others, and it starts with your intentions and your thought process. Life isn't easy. It's not easy for anybody, but you stay strong and you keep moving forward. And as they say, you listen to that internal chatter rather than the external as they make that point. You may have heard of a documentary titled The Secret, a book called The Secret. It's the whole concept of the law of attraction and the idea of you manifest into your reality, what you most intend and all that good stuff. And it's true, ladies and gents, when you look at quantum physics and you look at the idea of, the mind of the observer, really getting into this whole idea of what shapes reality, our intentions. If it's not for the thought process of what I'm intending or what I'm expecting, they make the point that that's essentially what creates the building blocks of this classical world that we're in. So the subatomic world in quantum physics is really, really cool. And I, years ago, got to talk with Brian Greene. I might have mentioned this last show, Austin. And he's one of the guys, the theoretical physicist that wrote a book called The Elegant Universe. It was on PBS. It was fascinating, brother. And the one thing that he said to me, I'm going to tell you this. He said this, everybody, that he got lucky. I went up to him he was on stage, he was doing a sound check, long story short here. Because I'm going to get Austin out on time, a little bit until it's over. But the one thing I want to leave you with is, he said that he got lucky to get this idea of string theory out there. That he got lucky because there were some scientists in the 60s, and he just sort of pushed their ideas, but also elaborated on them and extrapolated on them and went deeper with some notions. So I want you to realize, in many ways, this idea of luck, I think we create in so many regards. I think through hard work and through honest intentions. And when I say, I wish this man all the luck in the world, it really just means that you keep doing what you're doing, brother. Because the love in your heart and what you're putting out into this world, that's paving the way to all the success that you're going to have. And it's more important than monetary success. We living in paradise, ladies and gents.
We do, man.
I don't got to tell this man right here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This is yours truly, Nick TSP, Austin Shaw, episode. Boom, I got for everybody watching the video, I got some thing in my hand as I'm knocking it around. This is episode 118 of the Subjective Perspective Show. September 15th, Felt drops. Get out there. Go get your copy. We're going to get our copy. Even though we already have a copy, we're going to get another copy because we got some songs from the management. So that's why we were able to get some early. But we're going to be supporting and buying our copy also, brother. And we'll be seeing you on September 16th at Convo over in Santa Cruz. Ladies and gents, if you can get on down there, you got to check me out. If you find me, I'm going to get you a T-shirt from the Subjective Perspective Show. Trust me. You see me down there, you're getting a T-shirt, okay? I'm going to order them, so trust me, I'm going to get you everything all set up. You have a good time, all right? Most importantly, you buy this man's album. See? Got an apple for the teacher. You know what I'm saying? This man teaches me a couple things, and it's all about sharing ideas and supporting real artists. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Austin Shaw. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Always my brother.
My pleasure.
Bring it on out, baby.
Awesome.
Peace, everybody. We coming out. I'm getting out my intro, outro, and I'm just going to say this one last thing. We hope that you go into your weekend a bit more thoughtful with the Subjective Perspective.
Yeah.
1.
It's the subjective. It's the perspective. The subjective perspective show season 4. It's the subjective.